Hello, in this video I will demonstrate how to use spreadsheets to create decision tables in Process Automation Manager. For that purpose, I will log into Business Central and I will import this existing project that I have with the definition of some objects that I will be using in my decision table. So I will go to Design, Import Project, provide the URL for the Git repository. By the way, find the Git repository URL in the video description and comments. I will provide the authentication to import the project. Business Central will locate the Maven projects that are available in that Git repository. This shipping quote project is available there. I click on it and I click OK. And this is the object that I am interested in, the shipment object. This object defines a distance property and a price property that I will be using in my decision table to define a shipment price based on different distance values. In order to do that, we will create a new spreadsheet, and the first thing that we are going to do is to define the rule set. The rule set is this first value that will tell the engine in which package this rule should be stored at. So we will use the same package that we are using for the data object here. Of course, we can define another package for it. It is valuable to store it in a common package for all the rule sets. So the other statement that we will use here is import. Import will help us to identify other objects in different packages from which the rule set belongs to. In this case, for example, we will say to import the shipment object here. As you can see, it will not be totally required because this is more intended to be for listing objects that belongs to other packages, like other package dot object and semicolon and another object here, semicolon and another. That's the way that you use this import statement. In our case, I will leave it like importing just the shipment object to be sure that we have the proper object in our decision table. Then we can provide notes about description notes that we want to leave here for our users to maintain this decision table. So I will describe here to be a determine shipment price based on distance, lower spec limit and upper spec limit. That's the description that I will leave there. And then we will tell the engine that the rule table is about to start with a name, shipping price. Then in this row we will mark the different columns that we will use for the rule name. For conditions, in my case I will use two conditions. You can, in the different decision tables that you will be using, you can define as many condition columns that you want, and I will provide one action column. Also, you can provide many action columns. Now I will in the next row, after the marker of the rule name, conditions and actions, you can declare the different facts that you will use in the evaluation of the conditions and the setup of the actions. In our case, I will use a shipment fact name from the type shipment. The type shipment is this type that I will be using, that I also imported. That type will be used in all my conditions, so I will merge the cells for my conditions to use the same shipment fact right there. Now I will evaluate, in the first condition, I will evaluate the distance property of the shipment to be greater than whatever value I state in the different rows below. And for the second condition, I will state to evaluate the distance to be less than or equal to whatever value I say in the following rows. And for the action, I will tell the rules to edit the shipment to set the price to whatever value I say in the rows below. So that's the configuration of my rule. Now I will provide headers for my decision table. I will provide the name of the rule, then the distance, lower specification limit, the distance, upper specification limit, and the price. Now I can define, with this information, I can define my decision table. For example, I can define a short trip price, medium trip, and large trip. The distance of a short trip will be from 1 kilometer to 150. Medium trip is from 150 kilometers to 300 kilometers, and large trip will be from 300 kilometers to 600 kilometers. And the price that I will set for that short trip is 150, medium trip is 220, and large trip will be let's say 450. So that's a decision table that I have that I can host now in my Business Central project. But as you can see, it contains a lot of technical information, and I want to prettify a little bit this decision table to make it more visually attractive for the persons that will be maintaining the different rules in it. So I will hide this technical information here. And I will merge these nodes here and grab the text on it, give some formatting to that, and I will format the headers of my decision table. Okay, like that is a little bit more visually attractive for the person that will be maintaining the decision table, as you can see. Now I can save. I will save it as an Excel format, XLSX. I will save it in my documents temp directory, and I will set this name as determine price by distance. I will use the Excel format for it, and I will close it. Now I will be able to import it. I will close this shipment object, and I will add a decision table spreadsheet based on a spreadsheet asset with XLSX format from my temp directory, this determine price by distance. I will open it, and I will provide a name, determine price by distance. Like that, I click OK, and uploaded successfully. An upload tool is loaded in the screen. I will close that upload tool. Then the determine price by distance decision table interaction screen is loaded. I will close it just to see you how these just to teach you how these determine price by distance XLSX decision table can be interacted. You can click on this one and you can see that screen, and any person with access to this Business Central can download that spreadsheet so they can also have access to edit the rules, and after editing the rules they can upload the new version of those rules. So I will go to the source of it just for you to see how the rules engine has compiled my spreadsheet and has created these different DRL rules for my engine to host. So with those rules, of course, we can create test scenarios for testing how they are evaluated. Like, for example, let's create a scenario for a short trip. Given that I have a shipment with a distance of 75, I will expect to have a shipment, and because I don't remember the price for that one, I will just set the price to be 0 just for now. I will run the scenario and I can see that the actual price, it failed because the actual price was 150. So oh yeah, I remember the short trip price was 150. So I will run the scenario again, and there we go, we have a success. We can go to the audit log and we can see that one of the short trip has been triggered here. The fire rules has been triggered. So that's good. That's the scenario that we wanted, right? So let's save this, and now let's edit. Let's change my determine price by distance by adding another type of trip. Okay, so I will open my spreadsheet again. I will change the price for this short trip to be 140, and I will add another row here for a medium large trip from 300 to 440, and actually the large trip will be from 450 to 700. Okay, and the price for this one will be 540. Okay, so I have a new version of it, so I will save, and now I click here and I can upload a new version, right? Uploaded successfully. There I can go to the source and I can see these medium large, and I can see the large to change to, and if I go ahead and run my test scenario, of course it will fail, right? Because the price has changed. So now I need to change this scenario to be 140, run the scenario, and it's working fine. So that's one of the ways that you can create decision tables based on spreadsheets.